Hello everyone, my name is Wawa and I am back for game number 2 of this series. This is going to be Semifinals B of the Wawa Quickie Tourney, round number 4, hosted by Wawa Starcraft, and we're going to start game number 2 right here. It is still between Datte and pEdRo. It is 1-0 in favor of Datte. We're going to start this game in 3, 2, 1, and go. We are going to see Datte here. He's going to be spawning as the yellow Protoss, excuse me, and his opponent is gonna be the orange Terran. pEdRo here spawning at the bottom position, and Datte spawning actually at the top. And yes, Datte and pEdRo complaining about the lag, and pEdRo says always in always at NA. So yes, very sad indeed, because pEdRo is actually a very good player indeed. So yes, hopefully his lag issues will be resolved in future tourneys or in future Wawa tourneys. Maybe I'll just allow them to play in the C server. I don't know, we'll see how this game progresses. If this game progresses, maybe well, as I'm hoping it would be, maybe I'll just give them consideration of playing at NA or at C server. Yes, hopefully. And we're gonna see this game gonna be progressing at Jungle Basin. Now Jungle Basin is one of the new maps, well, not really new, one of the hatest map in the map pool right now. Well, at least for a Zerg player. Zerg players doesn't really hate it, because even though you have a very secure second expansion right here, that also means the same for the other player. Even though if it's Sarah Protoss, he also has a very secure second expansion. So yeah, it's just gonna be 2 base over 2 base. Oh, 2 base versus 2 base. So yeah, it doesn't really give you a very big lead if you're a Zerg player. So yeah, you're gonna have a very hard time expanding your third though. It's so hard to go for your third. It's either here, if you're spawning from the bottom, or here, also if you're spawning from the bottom. So yeah, it's a very tough choice. Those both expansions are so far from your base. It's also far from the expansion. Then again, there's a blistering rocks right there, or destructible rocks right here. That is very hard to take down as well. So pEdRo is just not really deviating at all from what he's known or what he is familiar with. Very much opening with the same build, not really doing anything at all different. And also the same for Datte. So both players just gonna be using what they're familiar with. I like that, actually. I really do, because why deviate from something you're more familiar with, and you know that works very well. You know, it's just stupid. You know, like rather than cheesing all the time, making up new cheese all the time, gambling, risking a lot, and risking the game as well. So yes, that's not really a good game. But then again, it's fun to watch, because yes, it's a different build, very unique and very interesting to see. But that's not really good for your long game. If you're planning to improve and planning to be going pro, you don't want to learn cheese, guys. You want to learn to be great with macro. Tell that to those Korean players, right? Damn, Korean players are so cheesy, but then again, that's what they're known for. They're very good with their micromanagement. That's why cheese is so good for them, as they have enough APMs to do those successful cheeses and whatnot. But then again, not everyone has very good and very high APM, especially not the Americans. No, Americans actually have high APMs. C server players doesn't really have that luxury of having high APMs. But then again, it's always the lack of gameplay as well, lack of exposure. Especially in the C server, you really need more exposure in the C, because I'm pretty sure that other servers are more active in this community compared to the C server. But yeah, hopefully it becomes much better in the future games as well. So look at this, finally a deviation from what is known for, or what he is familiar with, an early nexus right here from Datte. So this means he's gonna have a very big boost in the economy compared to Datte, or compared to pEdRo, because I'm pretty sure that Protoss players, double base Protoss players, are so damn good, so good, because their income is twice the enemy's income. And even though the units of the Protoss players are so expensive, they can still afford it, because they are still in the lead in terms of income. So yeah, that's pretty much good in the later game as well. So I'm expecting to see a lot of tech units right here again in the Datte's side. As we have seen last game, he has gone for very high tech units right here. The robotics facility with the High Templar, Shield Colossus, and High Templar mix, so damn good. So those are high tech units right there. And he didn't really go for the high number of army. He risked it all to those high number of tech units that he has, or the highest tech that he can get. Not really the highest, because he can get carriers if he wants, or he can get mothership, but that's not really applicable to his enemy's build order, or it's not really the best way to go for against his enemy's build order. As we're gonna see a drop right here with 3 Hellions. So I'm not sure if these 3 Hellions are gonna do a lot of damage to the base of Datte. Will soon find out, as he's gonna go land them, or no, he's just gonna leave them there for now. Oh, I accidentally moved my overlay. That's gay, that's gay. I'm sorry about that, guys. Still pretty tense. Still not used to moving around that overlay, but then again, I will be used to it as I get older. Yes, more games to come, promise. As we do have double starports right there. A Banshee is on the way as well, so we do have a tech lab, idle tech lab right there, not doing anything at all. And we did see the land of those Hellions. Hellions doing so much damage already. A good force tool right there, leaving 2 Hellions at the bottom and 1 Hellion at the top. So 1 Hellion did go down. Good job right there by Datte, killing off that harassment, completely cutting off the harassment of those Hellions. Now pEdRo is gonna transfer at the front. Maybe he's gonna land his Hellions again and gonna try to enter from the front. No, because I think he saw that sentry right there. I don't think so, but then again, that sentry is gonna be enough to stop those Hellions. So it's either gonna be the battle of the eyes right there. We do. Oh, look at this pylon placement right here. That is so cheesy right there. It's almost impossible to see. Only can see that small area right there. That's very nice placing right there of that pylon. And you can actually, warp in 2 units right there at the same time. Very nicely done right there by that. I'm wondering if that's gonna affect anything in the outcome of this game later on, as we do have the expansion right here of pEdRo being completed already. So Supply Depot is guarding that destructible rocks right there at the back. So let's see how pEdRo is gonna do well against this, as it is gonna be transferring a lot of SCVs to the expansion. And we do have double assimilators already right there at the base of Datte. So yes, going for very early expansion, or very early assimilators, very early gas. So that means one thing, going for tech again. No, that's not what I'm assuming, but then again, pEdRo also doing the same thing, but I'm pretty sure he's not gonna go for tech this time. Well, he didn't really go for tech the first game. He went for a lot of units in the first game, a lot of barracks, a lot of bio units. Then again, this time, woo, look at this Marine Banshee build. Something unique right here. Are we gonna see some medevac version? No mass Banshees right here. Oh, very interesting to see what's gonna happen on the outcome of this game, as those oval Hellions or double starports are gonna do a lot of damage in the base of Datte, if it is indeed possible or successful. As we're gonna see being built pylon cannons right here. So Datte not really worried about putting down those pylon cannons. It's pretty much comfortable actually of landing those pylon cannons. So we're gonna see double gateways right here, or double stargate right there for Datte. So you might go for some void rays, or you might go for some carriers. We never know. We'll see, and we'll soon find out. Maybe some phoenixes as well to stop those medevacs from flying in his base. As we do see, there's still 3 Hellions around, lurking around the base of Datte. So I'm not sure where he's gonna land at. We'll soon find out. And a good scan right here. He's gonna know where his enemy is, or where the unit of his enemy is. Gonna be comfortably landing his base Hellions right there. And we're gonna see, ooh, not really double plane Hellions, blue flame Hellions, but then again, it's a sacrificial Hellions. I'm wondering how many Hellions gonna be killing off. Not really that much. Look at the units lost right now. Units lost right now, 7 units lost for Datte, as we do have 5 units lost right now for pEdRo. So that's not very good indeed in favor of pEdRo. He did lose 5 Hellions, and those 5 Hellions are more expensive than those 7 pros right there. I could tell you guys, as you guys can see by the research tab right there. 200 more loss right now for pEdRo, as we do have a third command center being built right now for pEdRo. He might land it here in the middle, or he might just risk it all and just land it here, because his positioning of where he's building that command center is pretty much awkward. You can either land it on both of these sides, but you never know, because landing it in the middle is very risky as well. But landing it here is actually most risky, because it's right behind the destructible rocks of the base of his enemy. So you never know. We'll soon find out though, because we do have a lot of units right here for pEdRo already. I think that's a very scary push. I have to say that's a very scary push indeed. I don't think the army composition of Datte is enough to counter off that big army right there. But then again, you don't really need that much of an army right now, as we do have, ooh, phoenixes to counter off those banshees. So yes, an observer is on the field. Yes, he knows what he's gonna go up against, as there is an observer right there seeing everything at all. So good job right here. Good job by datte. Good scouting. So scouting is the key, guys. Scouting is the key. So pEdRo is doing his best hiding those benches right there, but it's not gonna be working out for him because there are a lot of phoenixes on the field already. Whereas four phoenixes on the field, and the 2 more have popped out from that Stargate. And doesn't really have cloak right now, so there is no observer, but yes, there's 2 observers right there. So datte, wow, good job right there, preparing for everything at all, because he does know that there's gonna be a big push from a marine very soon, as we're gonna see a force field right there. So that's gonna delay the army, the push of pEdRo is a little bit more. As we're gonna see, all these branches are gonna do so much damage, but they're also taking a lot of damage as well from those opponent cannons. Not good, not good. You don't like that. You don't want to take your units, or you don't want to take those branches taking damage. You want your barracks unit taking damage right there. But again, something's being warped in right here. We're gonna see, ooh, we do units being warped in right there. Zealots are being warped in. So good delay right there by datte, delaying the rest of the army of pEdRo. So there's gonna be 2 branches behind right here, and yes, they're not gonna be joining the battle anytime soon. So you should be just killing off those Port of Highlands right there. And warped in we see a warped in right there, and we get a big push right there by the ramp of datte. Datte is gonna do so much damage. Those branches have run away, but because those phoenixes are so damn good, because those branches can really do damage to those phoenixes. Wow, melting away those marine marauder army, mostly marine army though. But then again, yes, those phoenixes are the ones who has done the deed. Very nicely, well done right there by datte. Those phoenixes have done so much damage, so I'm pretty sure this phoenixes right there is gonna be hunting banshees right now, as he does know that there are some banshees on the field still, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna pick off that banshee very soon, as those phoenixes are being so damage. I mean, all missile turrets are in the field as well, so they're not gonna be doing any much damage at all in the mineral line of pEdRo. So good job pEdRo, finally reacting to the push right there of datte, or the little bit of harassment right there by datte. So 2 missile turrets are enough to do the deed, or to handle the deed of datte right there. So many buildings right there for pEdRo. This is what I like. This is old school Starcraft right there. Brood War days. You need a lot of buildings actually. You really need a lot of barracks. You need a lot of factories. You need a lot of starports to continue production with the late game, because production in late game is so damn crucial, and micro is so damn crucial as well. Macro is very crucial as well. So yes, you need a lot of gateways, because you can't really highlight all units at the same, or all buildings at the same time. It doesn't work like that before. And you don't have reactors back there too. No reactors, no tech labs, just plain old barracks. And yes, that's very horrible if you think about it, as we're gonna see a command center just hovering around right here. Really curious where he's gonna land at though. I think he's still wondering as well, as we do have another factory and another starport right there. So very interesting to see that we did see another factory being built right there, because factory units are known to not be good against Protoss, especially with this army composition. But then again, Colossus are very good as well to everything at all actually, because Colossus have a very long range, and I think siege tanks have the same range as Colossus. I don't quite sure. No, I think siege modes have a longer range. I think they have 10 range as Colossus, with Thermalance has 9 range. So we're gonna see a big clash right there. Are we gonna see a big clash? Maybe we does siege mode. It all depends on pEdRo's siege mode. He needs a siege mode right now, as the armies has been split. Oh, not looking good. Looking right here for pEdRo, lifting up those siege tanks right there. So good job right here by datte right now. So lifting up all those tanks right there, but then again losing all those phoenixes. He does have all of his land units though, so yes, I think that's a fair trade indeed, as he did lose all his phoenixes, but then again pEdRo lost all his armies. So yes, that's very much a fair trade right there. And this command center is still wondering where he's gonna land. He's also wondering as well, as ooh, this is so scary. Datte is mined out right now in his natural. He needs to move. He needs to expand right now. As also for pEdRo, datte right now has an expansion in the middle, as pEdRo doesn't have one. So yes, I'm not sure what's gonna happen here, if pEdRo or datte is gonna be doing the starvation game, as he's just gonna let pEdRo starve to death. He's gonna run out of money very soon. He's not gonna allow pEdRo to expand, because I have told you guys before that third expansion is very tricky to get. You need to be wise about where you're gonna expand it, as we're gonna see a fourth expansion right here for pEdRo, for datte as well. So keep datte keeping an eye on everything, every expansion he has vision of, so he's not gonna be losing an expansion anytime soon. So yes, he knows that there's a very high chance that he's gonna win this game right now, as we are seeing pEdRo not gonna do anything. Now look at this. This is such an ugly sight. So many SCVs in one mineral mining area. That's not a good sight indeed, as we do have 5 Sagas again, 5 Colossus on the field again. So yes, that's a critical mass right there if you're going up against some bio unit composition of for the Terran. So yes, a lot of Colossus means a lot of power, but then again, you still need those gateway units to do the handling of the damage coming out from the siege tanks and from those marauders as well. So you don't want those Colossus being picked up by some of those marauders, as we're seeing more units being warped in right there. And look at this, pEdRo gonna try his best to land that expansion right there, but then again, he's gonna see that datte's army is all there. So yes, he's gonna move back. Yes, very wise command center. Move back to your home natural base, as we're gonna see more photon cannons. No gateways. Ooh, 4 gateways being warped right here. We do have how many gates? 3, 5, 7, 8. So 11 gateways right now being used, or almost 11 gateways right now gonna be happening right now for that, as I think he's gonna go for an expansion right here as well. No, he's gonna just transfer some probes from that third expansion to the fourth expansion, because it is up already. Fourth Nexus is up already. Good job right here by datte. Wow, pEdRo is gonna try his best to just do a little bit of damage. He's gonna force pEdRo to force datte to move his army composition and just move them away, because he just needs to expand. He does need to expand very soon. He could just expand right here at expansion, but then again, he's gonna lose all of his drop units right there. So not a very good job right here by pEdRo. He did do the deed of pulling back all the army of datte, but then again, he couldn't really pull off the army of his army, by the way. Excuse me, blah blah blah. Murmur. Can't really speak English. As we do have 7 Vikings on the field already, so he needs to poke in. Gonna try to pinpoint one of these goals. Oh my god, Money Storm right there, killing all the army of pEdRo. This is not looking good right now for pEdRo. pEdRo, I think this is GG already. He doesn't have any land units at all. He only has Vikings to kill off those Colossus. The Colossus are still alive though. 2 Colossus are still alive. 3 of them went down though, so good job right there by pEdRo. pEdRo only has 2 Vikings right now, and some pEdRo's army are right here. This is only the last line of his defense, ladies and gentlemen. A good storm can oil off pEdRo right now. So many High Templars, some money shots right there. Moving into Archons. GG. Yes, I called it. Very much GG. So good job right here by datte. Very good job. I like that game. So datte doing pretty much the starvation game. He forces pEdRo to move out, even though he doesn't have anything at all. So yes, good job right here by by datte. So datte moving into the finals with Kumbi. So it is gonna be between Kumbi and datte for the finals. It is coming up. Stay tuned, guys.